What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Onnnn Blog Podcast. It is Sunday, September 22nd, 2024. And I want to start this episode off by congratulating the Utah Hockey Club for their first ever goal in franchise history. Now, I almost said this to LeBlanc, but I'm like, hey, why don't I announce this in the podcast? So, it was Milos Kelman for putting the puck in his own empty net on a delayed penalty.
There is no way. There is no way.
There is no way. All right, I'm your host here, Nordic, with my other host, LeBlanc. LeBlanc, how are we doing today?
Fantastic. A little sleepy, but fantastic.
This has got to be a great day for you. This has to be like a great week for you because there has been a lot of news around your teams, specifically you. But first off, I want to congratulate you. Carolina Panthers, big win today. How about it?
Huge win. Huge win. So excited. Night and day offense. Andy Dalton just slinging it.
Especially for like a team that blew out the Cowboys last week. Man, what a win against
Ravens. Come back win against the Ravens.
Oh, yes. Sorry, my apologies. But yeah, just a great performance by the Panthers. The other news that I want to get into right away involved your hockey team,
yes.
The Ottawa Senators. I don't think you want to talk about baseball because the Blue Jays have missed the playoffs.
We don't want to talk about the Blue Jays on here.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. Let's go to the Ottawa Senators, LeBlanc's other favorite team. They have confirmed a deal with the city to purchase land in LeBreton Flats for a brand new arena. So, I don't have a whole lot of information pulled up on this. I was hoping LeBlanc would have read into this and got some information. So, LeBlanc, first off, how are we feeling?
Excited, knowing that finally we asking, can we please get a downtown arena, please, for years. I think over 10 years now we've been in this process, but it goes to show that Michael Andlauer gets shit done.
Gets shit done. That's what I would love to hear. Yeah.
But yeah, this has been, those who don't know, the LeBreton Flats is government property. So the Sens we're trying to get a lease for that property. So instead of getting the lease though, you know what? Hey, let's just buy it. Let's just buy all 10 acres of land. When they were going to lease it, it was going to be 6 acres of land, and now it's 10 acres, of land that they've purchased from the city of Ottawa. So now that the land is bigger than they expected, they're going to make a whole arena district with parks and condos, and it's so much bigger now. They said they have to redo the entire design of the arena.
Now, LeBlanc, I want to ask you, are the taxpayers paying any tax on this?
They're not paying not a dime. Michael Andlauer had a quote. I actually have it right here in my notes so I can...
He's prepared. Look at him.
Right. I'm not looking for a money grab. I also don't want our fans to be paying $200 for a ticket, $30 for a beer, and $50 for parking.
What a guy.
Yeah.
What a guy. And who's that from?
That's from the owner, Michael Andlauer.
The boy, Michael Andlauer. Man, what just awesome news for the Ottawa Senators. I'm very happy for you guys. Now, this arena deal, obviously it's not going to, be built right away. Like, they're not going to build it overnight. So, how long do you think this is going to take? Because I haven't seen, reports on it. How long do you think?
I think they're going to get shovels in the ground in 26, and it will probably be done by 28, 29.
Yeah, so this is still going to be a little bit. You still got a few more years at the Canadian Tire Center, but hopefully, by the time this arena is built, the Ottawa Senators will be ready to contend for a championship. Hopefully. I don't know if LeBlanc can last any longer than that.
Hopefully, but, I love we're getting a new arena, but it's sad because, excuse me, all my hockey memories are at the CTC. It's the only arena the Sens have ever had since I've been around. Only arena they've had that I've been to a game, and I have so many great memories at the Canadian Tire Center. So when it goes, I'll be bittersweet. I'll be sad, but I'll be happy to have you at the same time.
You still have a few more years before that, but are you going to be at the last game ever at the CTC?
Yeah, I pretty sure if I'm still season tickets by then, I'll definitely make sure I'm there.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm hoping the last game of the season ever at CBC is probably the Stanley Cup final game, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not get.
Yeah, let's not get into that because
Yeah.
it's still a few years down the road. These Senators can obviously still break out of this drought that they're in. But yeah, it's great for Ottawa. We've seen a few teams in Canada get some arenas. Calgary a couple of years back. Now Ottawa. So LeBlanc, with this being announced, the NHL. And I think it is solely because of the Ottawa Senators arena, because the NHL was trying to get some teams to nail out some new arenas and stuff before they talk about the magic word, expansion.
Not the E word.
Yeah, not the E word, not the E word. So it was reported that they are open to or looking into hopefully expanding the NHL within the next, I would say, 10 seasons. And the frontrunners for a NHL city are Atlanta and Houston as the top expansion teams. Not surprises there at all. We know Atlanta was going to be up there. We know they were going to be wanting a third team. Houston, not a surprise either. They have been wanting to get into the league for years. As a Coyotes fan, I always hated the idea of Houston coming in, but now that the Coyotes have moved to Utah, I'm not really against it. So, LeBlanc, first off, I want to ask you, are you for or against expansion? Because I've seen a lot of reports over the last couple of days of people kind of on different sides, but what side are you on?
I think I'm in the middle. Like, I'm pretty against expansion, like, in the near future. Like, I'm talking, like, if they come in the next 2 years, I'm not gonna be for that. But if we're talking, like, 5 years down the road, then I think I'm for that, because I don't know, like, it seems like 32 seems like the perfect number of teams.
Yeah, it does. And I think that, again, like, if you expand to 34 or 36 or, God forbid, 40 teams, I think that you're going to need to make changes to the playoff format, division,
Yeah,
realign,
yeah,
and obviously that brings a lot of different things. So.
Yeah. So, but also the thing is with this is that the NHL always tries to go to places where it traditionally does not work. Like Atlanta, hey, third time's the charm, eh, boys? Like third time's the charm. Houston, yeah. I get it's like the fourth or fifth biggest city in the United States. I get that. But yeah. I would like the NHL to go to places where, hey, maybe it can work. Like if you go like Milwaukee, it could work. Kansas City, it could work.
Yeah, again, I think that it's kind of funny because NHL with expansion is very similar to I'm going to bring this term up that I brought up a couple times in the history of this podcast. It's like going back to a girlfriend or a boyfriend that is going to break up with you or cheat on you, and you're just like, oh, maybe it'll change this next time, and it doesn't change. Again, though, I do think that Atlanta, and I want to say this. With this, I am definitely not really for them getting another team, at least not right away. Not right away. If we wait a couple years down the road, a few more cities expand, then I guess maybe they want to become, I guess, the biggest league in the world. That's kind of what I've been seeing. Like they want to market themselves as that. But again, like Atlanta, the 2 times they did do it, they had really bad ownership. They had 2 owners that really were not competent. I think more than 2 actually. So definitely, if they got stable ownership, I feel like it could work. But again, they had their chances to do that, and there are definitely other cities like Houston that want to break into the league and get a chance. So I think you should give it to the other cities first before you go and give one to Atlanta immediately.
Yeah, and we've seen the proposal from Atlanta. They want to put it out in the burbs. Kind of do what the Braves did. The Braves, if those who don't know, the Braves used to play in downtown Atlanta at I think it was Turner Field, and they left Turner Field to go to the suburbs, to the Atlanta suburbs, with the whole ballpark district. And you know what? It's actually worked out very good for the Braves. There's no traffic getting into Atlanta. There's parking everywhere. There's stuff to do around the ballpark. It's not like going to downtown Atlanta, I've never been to Atlanta, so I can't really speak on Atlanta, but I think doing that is a better, it's a better, what artist is, it sets them up better for success than
Yeah.
just putting them in where the Hawks play downtown. So like I said, I think it could work better this time in Atlanta, but I think other places deserve to have a shot.
Yeah, exactly. So besides Houston and the ones that we have mentioned, what are some other cities that you think could deserve a shot?
I'm gonna be real bold here. Portland, Oregon.
Woo! Okay. I mean, does Oregon? I'm trying to think. Does Oregon even have like any like big
They have
name?
the Trailblazers in the NBA.
Yeah, that's about it though,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Like they
it.
don't
That's it.
team
And they have the
there.
Winterhawks of the WHL.
Yeah, but they don't really have anything else. So
I'm
maybe that could work out.
I'm gonna
That's kind
set
of an uncharted market.
I'm gonna set you up here. When I went to Seattle, I met so many people who were from Portland, Oregon. They drove up for games to Seattle.
Ooh.
Portland and Seattle are about 3 hours away driving, so it sets up a
Right.
rivalry there. Another place like I think I said Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee it's part of that like north like it's beside like Minnesota, Michigan, Ohio, and Illinois. Like it's all in that like those northern Midwest states that love cold sports.
They also have an MLB team as well.
Yes,
So they do have a sports market, but I don't think I'm trying to think like they have the Milwaukee Admirals of the AHL,
they have
but
the
they don't have
Bucks. They have the Milwaukee Bucks. They got an arena that's they have an NBA arena that's amazing. They've played preseason games there before, and it's drawn really big crowds.
Yeah. That's not a bad idea,
And
honestly. I feel like some people overlook that.
I'm gonna say the Q word as well. I think you need to go back to Quebec City. For me, I know it's never gonna happen, but
Probably
I would
not.
like to see it. I would like to see it happen. Or as I see, I want to get us up to 8 Canadian teams. Get us on that even stretch.
Could you see them doing a Canadian division then?
It'd be
I
weird
feel like they
though.
want to do that so bad.
It'd be so weird because like they're all in different time zones, so it wouldn't really make much sense travel wise. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it would be a little bit strange.
but yeah.
Now, I have another one that I want to ask you before I get into a few other expansion questions.
Okay.
People, there's actually a decent amount of people that want a team to come to Hamilton, Ontario. Are you for that or against that? I can
uh,
tell that you're not.
I'm pretty against that because I got to tell you why. Hamilton tried to get a team back in the 90s. They were backed by the biggest of big corporations. They're backed by Tim Hortons. And
Woo!
they did not get it. Do you know why they did not get it?
Because their coffee sucks. I'm kidding. I don't know. I've never had it.
Yes.
Sorry.
So they didn't get it because they're too close to Toronto.
Exactly.
If you don't, if you don't know Canadian geography, Hamilton's about, I want to say with traffic, about like an hour away from Toronto. Like you can
I
get,
feel like half the time it'd be away fans. Like, how are you going to persuade these people to go from Toronto, who they've probably been rooting for generations upon generations,
yeah,
to a new team? And like, some fans would, but like that's like a city where it'd be filled with away fans.
Hamilton's also close to Buffalo, so it's like a halfway point between Toronto and Buffalo.
Exactly.
So
you're just like,
and you think a Buffalo Toronto game is filled with Toronto fans? Wait for a Toronto Hamilton game. You're not gonna have a single home fan in that arena.
yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I get the appeal. Like it's a lot of people there. It makes a little bit of sense, but like when you look at how close to Toronto, if you don't know this story as well, the Toronto Maple Leafs when the Ottawa Senators came into the league, Toronto sued them
really.
for quote for encroaching on their territory, and they had help from the Ontario government to help them sue. They lost in the end, but
God, that's crazy.
yeah.
Actually.
So they sued the Senators for being in their territory, even though they were 5 hours away.
That's where LeBlanc's hatred started of the Maple Leafs when they tried to sue his team.
So if Hamilton and you think Hamilton comes in, that is literally right in Toronto's backyard.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah. So like I think it would work like money wise.
Oh yeah.
But like you talk about like everyone wants to talk about growing the game. The game's I get growing the game is important, but I also it's kind of like a backlash. It's a double-edged sword because like growing the game is good, but also I want more traditional markets. So it's a double-edged sword here. So no matter what I do, what they do, they're gonna get backlash.
That's true. But I think if you go to Hamilton, you're not really growing the game.
You're not growing the game, but you're gonna make money. You will make money.
That would be like a money grab for the NHL, honestly. Growing the game would be better in the other places we mentioned, like Milwaukee and, I guess Houston in a way.
If you want to grow the game, like you could go to a place like Oklahoma City where, hey, they didn't have a sports team till the Thunder came in, and now they embrace the Thunder as, they're a basketball state now.
Go to anywhere in just the middle of America.
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yes, Albuquerque, New Mexico, and you name it the drug lords.
Oh.
But anywho, there was another thing that I saw a lot of people discussing was the amount of talent in the NHL. So if the NHL, let's just say hypothetically, if they expanded to 36 teams, I think that's fair. You add one team to each division.
Yep. Okay.
Do you think that the NHL has talent to manage 4 more teams being added into the league?
Yes, and I get there's an argument, dilutes the talent. I find there's a lot of players on teams who don't get a fair shot.
Yeah.
Because
I think that if you add more teams in the league, you're going to get more stars. You're going to develop more star players.
You're going to get guys who are more developed, who are being developed to be in higher roles. You're going to get guys who maybe didn't get a shot somewhere else, get a shot at another team. There's more opportunities. It's more jobs, basically, if you want to put it I'm running for NHL expansion. It creates more jobs. It creates more. It's money, and I want to say if Bettman is still the commissioner in 5 years, he will definitely add 4 more teams.
He will,
because
100%.
It's all about money for the NHL, and that expansion fee is massive for them.
It is. It's like $2 billion, right? Or
$1 billion? It's like $1 billion. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I think by the time I'm 40, 45 years old, there will be 40 teams in the NHL.
Yeah, honestly, I could probably see that happening, honestly. With the way we're going, with the way they keep bringing it up, they want to be the biggest league in the world. They do. They want to have a hockey team in every single goddamn, relevant city in the country. So, or in this region. So.
Yeah, and I get it because you go to different markets, then you grow the game. You look at places in the NBA. The NBA, if you want to look at it, has some very obscure markets, like Sacramento, like we said, Portland, Oklahoma City. Yeah, Oklahoma City, Memphis. They have where their teams are. There's no other teams there. It was Utah for a bit. Now we have the Utah Hockey Club. But they're
part of why, and I'm sorry, that's part of why the game grew so much.
Yes, and
with all these different places.
Yeah, and it grew because they went to different markets, and basketball is a lot easier to play. It's a lot easier to learn than hockey. But yeah, they went to all these obscure markets, and it kind of worked.
Yeah, it did. And I think that, if the NHL can do something similar to that, it would really go a long way for the game overall. So, one more question I want to ask you before we move on, and this is something that I actually just came up with. Do you see the NHL possibly expanding to Mexico?
No.
No?
I think that's where they draw the line.
Too warm?
Too warm. I don't think, I really don't see the citizens of Mexico really embracing it, because Mexico. Yeah, I mean, Mexico City is the biggest city in North America, but it's also not. I want to say this clearly. It's not safe. We're gonna leave it at that. Yeah. I can see them playing a preseason game there. Yeah,
they have.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna go for a team there. Because I don't think it's gonna work.
They're known more for soccer.
Yeah, soccer. They've had football games there.
Yeah, but how about Europe? No, it's not happening.
No, and one more thing before we move on, and the NFL does that too. Let's go. Let's have a Division Europe. Why?
division in Europe. I've actually had this idea for a while. I had the idea of how about you make a conference in Europe where those teams all play against each other in Europe, and you have teams who play against each other in North America. And then when it comes playoff time, they have their playoff formats. Whoever wins the North America plays the European team in a 7-game clash. I feel like that would be crazy.
That is such a
do not have enough. You do not have enough freaking talent to make a
Yeah.
64 team league.
No, and that's such a European idea. Like I said, like have the European team winner play the North American team winner. It's such a European concept.
I don't care. It's a cool idea. I don't care. All right, let's move on from expansion. That took us a little bit. Expansion's always like a fun talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into some signings that have happened recently. Dawson Mercer got locked up to a 3-year, $4 million extension by the New Jersey Devils. Great deal. I think Mercer came off of a down season last year, but I think at a $4 million contract, that's terrific for New Jersey. If Mercer bounces back from what was a down year last year, you're looking at that contract as one of the best on that team.
Yeah,
100%. So I love that signing from Mercer. I do want to mention too that there are 2 restricted free agents still signed. That being Jeremy Swayman and Cole Perfetti. We talked about Swayman at length last episode. We're not going to talk too much here because there's really nothing to report on. Just we haven't heard anything about that. Perfetti, it does appear that they're still trying to work that out. It doesn't seem like it's as worrisome as Swayman. They seem like they're going to get that deal done. They want to get that deal done. I'm hoping, and I'm sure we'll probably see that get done by next week, is what I'm hoping for sure from Perfetti. But overall, with going back to Mercer, I love that deal from the Devils. Additionally, too, Dylan Guenther of the Utah Hockey Club, and this is their first major signing amongst of their big core forwards. They signed Dylan Guenther to an 8-year, $7.14 million contract that will begin in 2025-26. The one thing that has really popped up about this is that Dylan Guenther has only played 88 games in his NHL career, and he's already getting paid $7 million. So, first off, I am a Utah fan. I am a former Coyotes fan, but I want to go to LeBlanc first. LeBlanc, what were your thoughts on this signing when it dropped?
It's kind of crazy to pay somebody that much money when they haven't played a full season, and I don't think he's gotten 20 goals yet.
No, he's only had 18 goals last year, which was his career high.
To give someone $7 million who has never played a full NHL season and has never scored over 20 goals, to me is insane. It's insane. But I feel like the way he's progressing, this contract will be a steal.
They're paying for potential.
Yes,
is what they're trying to do here.
That's what I call the Pierre Dorian.
Pierre Dorian. I think if Guenther comes in this year, has 25 goals, 65 points, you call that a win. I think that you want to see this guy progress. He's actually again, as you said, never played a full season, never fully made the team. He did have 23 points in the final 24 games with the Coyotes, so he did have a good solid second half of the year with the team and end of the season. But again, I think that if Guenther makes the team this year, which I'm assuming he will with this contract, that will be exciting to see what he can do. In addition, Kevin Lankinen signed a 1-year, $875K contract. We talked in a previous episode about Vancouver's goalie situation with, Demko being hurt, Shelov's dealing with something. They get Lankinen locked up here to a 1-year contract. It's kind of that goalie that gives him assurance in net. So I think we already talked about this. It's good for Vancouver. They get either a good goalie for a backup role. But again, there's a good chance that Lankinen, when Demko comes back, will be placed on waivers and will be somewhere else. So,
I believe Lankinen caved. He was clear he wanted a contract that was over $1 million, and he's like, you know what, I'll take it. But there might be incentives in that contract that we don't know about.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe they might keep him in the
it
NHL.
it's a good move for the Canucks. It also tells me that Demko's injury is probably worse than we realize.
Yes. I don't think they would be worried about getting a goalie like this if this injury wasn't going to keep Demko out for like at least a month or two to start the year,
Mm-hmm.
being honest. So, yeah, Lankinen locked up by Vancouver. Couple injury news here. I want to start off with Ville Heinola, who suffered a pretty, devastating injury. He is out long-term with an ankle infection that he had surgically repaired last year. He had 10 goals and 27 points through 41 games played last year with the Manitoba Moose. We discussed, I think, in a previous Nord Block Pod episode, where we were like, this guy's still a prospect, and he was drafted in 2019. He's only played 35 games in the NHL, has dealt with so many injuries, and it's like whenever this guy would get the opportunity with Winnipeg, he would just never be able to he would just get hurt, or something bad would happen to him. So he's had a lot of bad luck. Hopefully he can come back from this, but again, it's not looking that great for the 20th overall
I
pick.
I feel bad for him because he has the potential. He's never gotten an opportunity.
Nope.
Yeah, and
Really.
he's a good player, and I feel bad for the guy. I really do. Because he was either in the minors for a long time, or he was never played when he was up because different coaching regimes were in there. He got injured, and now this just sucks.
It does. It does suck, and I hope that he will be able to come back from this. In other news, Arthur Kaliev will miss the next few months due to a upper body injury. Kaliev, another one that we talked about, who signed a contract, doesn't want to be there. He's probably played his last game with the LA Kings.
He broke his clavicle, so his collarbone. We broke his collarbone, so he's out indefinitely.
Yeah, I'm reading it. Oh, I'm reading an older report. Oops. Yeah, he's out indefinitely with that injury. So hopefully he can come back. But it was, not an injury you would like to have. Evander Kane, we got some more info on what his injury is going to look like. He will miss the next 4 to 5 months after undergoing sports hernia surgery. I think 4 to 5 months will take us to February. March. So we might not see Evander Kane until about the middle or the end of the season with the Oilers. So I'd imagine they're going to place him on LTIR. But yeah, not a huge loss for Edmonton, but still a middle six forward that you would like to have. Preseason going on today, LeBlanc. There's been a few games that were played yesterday, a couple games that were played today. We saw Steven Stamkos and Predators threads for the first time. LeBlanc, how are we feeling seeing this? This is really weird.
It looks gross. I'm not gonna lie to you. It doesn't look right at all.
It looks photoshopped.
It does. It really does. I want to see him in the home jersey though, and then I'll make my judgments.
I hate Brisebois. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Really disappointed.
You could tell he wanted to spend the rest of his career there.
He did.
Yeah.
He really did. He you look at these pictures in his new uniform, he wanted to be with Tampa.
Yeah.
He really did want to be with Tampa. I'm sure you haven't watched any of the preseason games, but any takeaways that you've seen from these? Jesse Puljujarvi just having a legacy game in Pittsburgh.
I've seen enough. Give him the Rocket.
Yep, give him a goddamn spot on the team.
I watched a bit of the Sens preseason game today. Jan Janik he's having a good game. He stood out of training camp. Yakimchuk's looking solid actually. Green was saying how he was the pleasant surprise of training camp. I don't think he'll make the team, but what I've watched, he looked very, very, very good.
Yeah, Matvey Michkov had 2 points in the Flyers win today over the Capitals. Jet Luchenko also had 2 points as well. And Fedotov actually had a decent game. So, just preseason, doesn't mean anything. Funny thing is, I'm actually going to a preseason game on Thursday before we record our next episode. So I will be definitely giving you guys some insight on how boring preseason really is.
It's
But I got
funny.
a suite, so it's okay.
It's funny. I'm supposed to go to a preseason game on Thursday as well, but I can't. I'm traveling the next day, so I can't go.
Wow. Wow. Not committed to his team, I see. Wow. How disappointing.
It's
All right.
preseason.
It is. It is. You're right. And it definitely has no impact whatsoever.
No, I
on
usually
how
give
you're.
away when I get tickets on my preseason games that I have. I usually just give them away. I give them away to friends, or I give them to my other buddy.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. All right, LeBlanc, I got no other news. Let's get into our Central Division preview. These guys that are in the Central have been waiting a while for us to get into this.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to start off with the Chicago Blackhawks today. The Blackhawks last year finished dead last in the Central Division, second last in the NHL. Good first year out of Connor Bedard, however, but they made a lot of changes, letting go of Tyler Johnson, Colin Blackwell, Taylor Radish, Mackenzie Onwhistle, Reese Johnson, Jared Tenorti, and Jacob Magna. They brought in Tyler Bertuzzi, Ilya Mikheyev, Teuvo Teravainen, Craig Smith, TJ Brody, Alec Martinez, and Laurent Brossoit. So, LeBlanc, what are your thoughts on the Chicago Blackhawks team? Well, I go get a drink of water because I forgot my water bottle.
The Chicago Blackhawks, they are a team that is rebuilding currently. They've got a young, up-and-coming roster, but this is still many, not many, but I would say like still a few years away from being a contender in the Central Division. I like Bedard. We all like Bedard. He'll probably be point per game next season.
Probably.
But this roster is still in rough shape. They made a lot of additions, but it's better than last season, but it's still rough. And I'm gonna read them off one by one. Your first line, according to Daily Face-Off, once again, do not get angry at us because these are not the lines that you want.
We didn't make them. Not ours.
Yes. So, first line, Taylor Hall, Connor Bedard, Tyler Bertuzzi. Good.
Good first line.
Good first line.
Those guys are really going to feed off of Bedard for sure.
Mm-hmm. Second line, Lucas Reichel, Philip Kurashev, and Teuvo Teravainen.
Honestly, not that bad either, but it's still kind of just meh.
Third line, Nick Foligno, Captain Nick Foligno, Jason Dickinson, and Ilya Mikheyev. It's okay.
It's okay. Fourth line,
we got Andreas Athanasiou, Ryan Donato, and Craig Smith. This is the lines of guys who didn't live up their potential.
Yeah. Honestly, this is a very. It's not like it's.
It could be better.
It could be. Of course, it could be better. It's a meh forward core, honestly.
Yeah. This D core genuinely scares me. So, first pairing: Alex Vlasic and Seth Jones.
Jones is Jones. He's overpaid.
Jones is overhated though. He's still a good defenseman.
He is overhated. Vlasic, I think, is also underrated.
Yeah, I like Vlasic. Then we got the youngster Kevin Korchinski paired up with Connor Murphy.
Korchinski, yeah, Murphy.
Ugh.
I don't know.
Yeah. And then last pair, we got the two veterans on the third pairing that I think is a very good pairing. We got Alec Martinez and TJ Brody.
Two new guys on the roster. Yeah. It's a blue line. That's for sure.
Then in goal, we have Peter Mrazek and Laurent Brossoit.
It's like it's funny because it's like two backup goalies as your tandem. Honestly, Mrazek last year though I thought actually had a pretty good season. By all accounts, he had like a solid year, but Brossoit's better than Arvid Soderblom, who was horrendous to watch every night. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. This team has a long way to go, in my opinion. I don't think they are ready for the playoffs. I don't think they're ready to contend, or even contend for a playoff spot. I don't think they'll be competitive for a playoff spot. This is another year of growth for the Blackhawks, and I have them 8th in the Central and 31st in the entire league.
According to the LeBlanc big board.
Yes.
I have them 8th in the Central. Of course. They are very low in my overall league standings. So yeah, it's gonna be another rough year in Chicago for sure. But hopefully with Bedard and guys like Levshinov, Korchinski, hopefully Frank Nazar makes the team too. Guys that are coming up. Could be an exciting time in Chicago in the next couple of seasons. But again, they are a far way away before they get there for sure. All right, moving on to a team that is definitely in a good spot is the Colorado Avalanche. And by good spot, I mean a questionable spot by some people. They lost in the second round last year to the Dallas Stars. They let go of Sean Walker, Zach Parise, Andrew Cogliano, Jack Johnson, Frederick Olofsson, Caleb Jones, Brandon Duhaime, and Jakob Trenin. The guys they brought in, Parker Kelly, Oliver Shillington, Eric Brandstrom, and Jacob McDonald. A lot of Ottawa Senators in there.
Yeah. They lost quite a bit of depth, I feel, this offseason, but they kind of replaced it with guys who, I want to say, like, make or break guys who, like, either want a new opportunity or didn't get a chance at their old club, and now they're here.
But yeah, that's mostly what it was. Still a very good team, though.
Still a very, very good team. I just want to point out the injuries on this team right now. Currently on this, it says Landeskog, O'Connor, Nichushkin, and Lehkonen are all injured.
Yeah, a lot of injuries there in Denver.
Yeah, so going this is the playoff team. There's not really a way around it. Even if they have a down year, they'll still get in somehow.
Yeah, they will. We know what they can do.
Yeah. First line, Jonathan Drouin, Nathan McKinnon, Mikko Rantanen, elite.
Elite. Absolutely elite. And then there's Jonathan Drouin. But,
yeah.
It's still elite. We know, like, Drouin, he's alongside McKinnon and Rantanen, and he's going to put up a lot of points. And Rantanen is on a contract year, by the way.
Yes. We have second line of Miles Wood, Casey Middleton, and the rookie Nikolai Kovalenko.
He's going to be fun.
Yeah.
There are, like, people who, like, they don't realize, like, how good this guy was in the KHL. Like, I did, like, my prospect video this year on the Avalanche. I'm like, man, this guy was actually really good with the Avalanche, with like, in the KHL. He was also drafted in 2018. So like, he's like Kirill Kaprizov in a way.
So I feel like he could be an X factor for this Avalanche team in the forward core. Our third line, we have Joel Kiviranta, Ross Colton, and Logan O'Connor, who is currently injured.
Yeah, the depth could be better. It's not bad, but the depth could definitely be better.
Fourth line, we got Parker Kelly, Chris Wagner, and Jason Paulin. I want to mention again that Arturi Lehkonen will probably be in this lineup when he comes back from injury.
That sounds like a line that's just going to fight people.
Yeah, Parker Kelly loves to fight people.
Yes, that sounds like just a line that people are not going to want to play against. Yeah, for sure.
And Kelly and Wagner are both good penalty killers, too.
They are. So that might be good acquisitions for Colorado, for sure. I think Kelly could really work out well.
Oh, and refreshed on. I guess big NHL doesn't want me to see the defense.
It's too good to be true, I guess.
First pairing, Devontae Cale Makar.
Yeah, that honestly.
That is the best pairing in the NHL.
Yeah, 100%.
Second pairing, Sam Girard and Josh Manson.
It's a really good second pairing.
And third pairing, Eric Brandstrom, Oliver Killington. Two players who I don't think got a fair shot with Ottawa or Calgary.
Yeah, so, and obviously Shillington dealt with a lot of stuff personally, so I like that third pairing. I like how they kind of improve their depth.
I think Brandstrom could be a sleeper on this Colorado defense.
Yeah, he really could be.
And in goal, this is a big question mark coming into the year. Oh, excuse me. I just had dinner.
Oh my God.
Alexander Gorgiev, who, I'll be honest, was not good in the playoffs. Like, was not
No.
good.
Even against Winnipeg, he wasn't that good.
Yeah. What? Yeah, it was bad. And then Justice Onnnn is the projected backup goalie.
He had a good stint last year with the team.
He did.
I thought he came in and looked solid, but then again, a lot of goalies have that when they first come in. Can he build off of that? But yeah, this is a make or break year for Alex Georgiev. If Georgiev doesn't pan out or doesn't live up to the expectations, he's gone. He's out.
Yeah, even if he fumbles this year, Colorado's trading for somebody at the deadline.
Yeah, they're gonna move. They're gonna move for a goalie to really make this team work. And again, they are without Nichushkin. They are likely without Landeskog. This could be a brutal start to the year for Colorado.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie to you. As LeBlanc tries to fix his jerseys. Yeah, again, it's gonna be an interesting year for the Avalanche, but they will be contending for sure. They will be in it, 100%.
Yeah. So they're a playoff team, in my opinion. They're second in the Central this upcoming season, and I have them eighth in the NHL.
Yeah, they are second for me as well. I could see them finishing third. There's a few teams that I think could finish above them, and by a few I only mean two. But I do think that they're gonna be a playoff team. They'll make it.
Yes.
Sure. All right, let's move on to the Dallas Stars. The Stars last year lost in the conference finals for the second straight season. Their guys they let go of: Chris Tanev, Joe Pavelski, Ryan Suter, Radek Faksa, Craig Smith, Ty Dellandrea, Yanni Hakanpää, and Scott Wedgwood. The guys they brought in: Colin Blackwell, Matt Dumba, Ilya Lyubushkin, Brendan Smith, and Casey DeSmith. There's a few moves that Dallas did this past year that I liked, and there's a few moves that Dallas did this past year that I was like, what? So, yeah, LeBlanc, what are we thinking about the Stars?
I'm of you here. I like some of the moves did, and then some of the moves really had me scratching my head.
Yep, exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. And I got a big head, I got a big head, so it took me a long time to scratch it. So.
Oh, my God. Me too.
Forward core, we got Jason Robertson, Rupe Hintz, and Wyatt Johnston. All great first line,
elite first line.
Yeah,
elite.
Yeah. Second line, we know you're getting there. Second line, it has Mason Marchment, Matt Duchene, and Tyler Seguin, which does not seem like it's correct.
That's what I have here on my depth chart, though. I feel like there might be a few changes there, but it's still not a bad second.
I think it's because we're forgetting that Pav retired.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
And then, I mean, that's a good second line. Yeah.
I like it.
Third line, Jamie Benn, Maverick Bourque, Logan Stankoven. The two rookies.
I'm excited for that.
That's a fun line right there.
You got two rookies in there, and then you have your captain who is old. But it's still going to be a lot of fun, like watching him mentor those younger players. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Our fourth line, we got Evgeny Dadonov, Sam Steele, and Colin Blackwell. It's a pretty good fourth line.
That is a good fourth line. Depth, for sure. They're deep. They're very deep. Incredible top nine.
Yeah, this is where the questions come in now. The defense.
It's always where the questions come in.
Heiskanen and Dumba is the top pairing.
Well, yeah, actually, they have a really good, lefty side. Their right D is, atrocious. So, the first half is really good. Dumba, I don't know. He's horrible defensively.
I put someone else up there with Miro, but I'll tell that after. Second pairing, Thomas Harley, Ilya Lyubushkin.
Yeah, I like Harley. Lyubushkin, I don't really know what to expect. Last couple of years, he's been bouncing around the league a lot, from Toronto to Buffalo,
back to Toronto,
back to Toronto again. Now he's in Dallas. He's gone everywhere. So I don't know.
Fourth pairing is Esa Lindell and Nils Lundqvist.
I like Lindell. He signed a contract recently. Lundqvist hasn't panned out. At all.
I'll be honest, I would put Lundqvist on the first pairing with Miro.
Yeah, I would too. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like I think if there's anyone that's really gonna like rejuvenate Lundqvist, it would probably be Miro.
Yeah. The other option is you take Harley and put him on the right side. But I don't think that you could do that, but I don't think that's ideal.
Yeah, that's ideal.
Yeah, goaltenders. We have Jake Ottinger and Casey DeSmith. I think that's a really good goalie tandem.
It's a good tandem, but I do think that Ottinger last year was a little bit disappointing.
Took a step back.
Yes, that's what it seemed like. If he can, have a bounce back year, then I think that tandem's great.
Yeah.
But again, still a good back.
I'm inclined to believe that Onnnn will have a bounce back year, and that's why I have the Dallas Stars winning the Central Division and being the second best team in the NHL.
They were last year, so that's not that hot of a take.
Yeah.
But I actually have them first in the Central as well. They will be top 5, probably top 3 in the league as well. They're a very good team. Well, again, it really comes down to when you get to that, like, the grind and the third round of the playoffs. Can your blue line, can your goalies sustain the high levels of offense coming at you? That's the biggest question facing Dallas.
Yeah, it's like that fatigue, and there's a clip from a movie, and it's from a book. It's called Holes, and it's this little girl. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Let's do it again, bad.
Yep. That's a meme on TikTok as well. So, yeah, it's kind of how I look at the Dallas Stars. They're gonna be a team to watch this year for sure. Let's move into the Minnesota Wild. I think that's next up, if I'm correct.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is. I should know this by now. The Wild last year had a disappointing season. They finished, I think, 6th in that Central Division. I think so. Or 5th or 6th, one of the two. It was 6th.
They were 6th, yeah.
Yeah, I'm losing my mind. They let go of Adam Beckman, Alex Goligoski, Vinny Lettieri, Jake Lucchini, Tacoma Mermies, and Mason Shaw. The guys they brought in, Jakob Trenin, Jacob Lauko, Travis Boyd, and Brendan Gansey. Not a lot of moves there in Minnesota. Again, they really couldn't do anything. They really didn't need to do anything. But LeBlanc, this is a team we haven't really talked about that much, apart from like the Brock Faber extension, a few other things. But how are we feeling about Minnesota?
I'm not that high on Minnesota coming into the year. But I like the makeup of the team, so I'm just going to go through, and then we'll discuss this after we go for the lines.
Yes.
So first line, we got Kaprizov, Ryan Hartman, and Matt Zuccarello. Excuse me.
It's a solid first line.
I have some concerns at the first line center position, but other than that, I think it's a pretty solid first line.
Yeah, down the middle, I think
that's good. It's really going to hinder them, and that's why I have some bold takes for them. We'll get to that in a second. Second line, Marcus Johansson, Joel Eriksson Ek, and Matt Boldy.
Yeah, that's
good,
a young line.
Really, really good second line. Now, I think those second and first line are interchangeable. You can flip and flop them, probably.
Yeah, to be honest with you.
Your bottom 6 now. Your third line is Marcus Foligno, Marco Rossi, and Jakob Trenin.
That's the Marcus line, for sure. Yeah, I like that line. I think that Trenin and Foligno are going to be hellbringers to that team, for sure. Trenin, especially.
Rossi had a decent year last year. I wonder if he can build off that.
Breakout year, honestly.
Wonder if he can build off that. This fourth line is where I don't have questions, but I'm excited for a certain player on this line. We got Jacob Lauko, Marat Kuznetsov, and Frederick Gaudreau. I'm so excited for Kuznetsov. Yes, I'm so excited for him. He was a second-round pick a few years back. Was great in the KHL. He was really good in the KHL. I think he can potentially get up to that second line this year if he produces.
Yeah, that's like Kuznetsov. He's like Kovalenko. He often kind of gets a little bit forgotten,
overlooked.
He last year and looked all right. I think that he's someone who could really have a breakout year this year from Minnesota, and he's going to be someone who's like if he comes in and scores like 30 goals and has a good start to the year, people are going to be like, "Who the hell is this guy?" people are going to be.
Yeah.
So
Just off topic, real quick, I find KHL young guys in the KHL that are not first round picks get extremely overlooked.
yes, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, yeah, like guys out there in Russia, they do kind of get forgotten that they're there. Like
Yeah.
Kovalenko, Kaprizov, like, you forget some of these guys are, even like Danila Yurov with Minnesota.
Off, and then there's that. Oh, what's his name? He's Carolina defenseman. What's his name?
Nikishin.
Nikish
Nik-
Nikishin.
Nikishin.
Yeah. Like those guys get really overlooked. So anyway, going back to this, the defense. I got some questions. Jacob Middleton and Brock Faber.
Yeah, I like Faber. Middleton actually had a pretty good year last year. I heard reports that he walks around the locker room naked.
That's fun.
All
That's
I heard
fun.
from Middleton.
Better not bring your kids by.
Yeah, please don't.
Second pairing is Jonas Brodin, and it says Jared Spurgeon, but Jared Spurgeon is still injured.
Yeah, I like Brodin. Spurgeon's not bad, but he's hurt, as you said.
They really fell off after Spurgeon got hurt.
They did. If he's very valuable to that team. People kind of forget, honestly.
And then fourth line, I've got Declan Chisholm and Zach Bogosian.
Bogosian, legend. You actually forgot he existed. I'm sure you did. Not you, the block, but the fans, I'm sure, did. But I like Chisholm. Just kind of a guy who didn't get a chance in Winnipeg. We'll see what he can do in the third pairing in Minnesota, but yeah, I don't really know.
Goaltending, we have Philip Gustafson, and coming back for his final season is Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yeah, this will be Marc-Andre Fleury's final year in the NHL. Kind of like it feels weird, to be honest. Drafted in 2003. This will be it for him. I think this is his 19th or 20th season. Yeah. He's been in the league for a while.
He got drafted when I was 4. Like that's how long he's been in the league.
Yes, he's been around for a long time. So They do have Wallstedt coming up the pipeline as well. So they're not that in doom.
A little bit of a bold take. I have a feeling that if Minnesota struggles, I think Fleury might get traded to Pittsburgh mid-season.
That is a take. That's a bold take. I honestly would say. Again though, like if they do that, Pittsburgh's gonna have to trade a goalie out the other way. Yeah, but you're bringing back Flower, so yeah, to have him finish off his career where it started. I don't mind that.
Yeah. This team, it's good. It's good, but there are some holes in the roster. I'm not a fan of the center core outside of Eriksson Ek. The defense, I still have major question marks around. The goaltending is still not. Marc-Andre Fleury, he's proven, but he's in his final season, and Gustafson has to find consistency. He's got to find that consistency if we're gonna get back to the playoffs. I have the Minnesota Wild 6th in the Central, 23rd in the NHL.
Pretty sure I have them 6th as well, or 7th. That Central Division, that absolute pool, I have no. I kind of rotate every day, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Minnesota will be. They have a really good team, but again, you bring up Parise and Sutter, they're paying those guys, but this is the last year of that. They're gonna have, I think it's $14 million next offseason to work with.
Yeah.
On top of the money they're already gonna get off the books from that too. So the Wild really have a chance here to build a legitimate team. Now that they're gonna have that money off the books, but this is gonna be the final year of that. I wouldn't be surprised if they make the playoffs or they barely scrape in. One of those two things is probably going to happen. But regardless, let's move on to the Nashville Predators. This team is exciting. They are exciting. Last year, they went on that huge point streak, made it in, lost to Vancouver in the first round. Then they went out and got rid of Ryan McDonough, Tyson Barrie, Kiefer Sherwood, Dennis Gurianov, Anthony Beauvillier, and Kevin Lankinen. The guys they brought in, and Cody Glass as well. The guys they brought in, and Askarov. The guys they brought in, Steven Stamkos, Jonathan Marchessault, Brady Shea, and Scott Wedgwood. Sorry, this is outdated, and I'm oh yeah, they got rid of that guy. Oh yeah, they got rid of that guy. They are so active right now. LeBlanc, Nashville is so exciting. So fun. Really looking forward to them.
Nashville is all in. They're all in. This is a short-term push for now. This is like, we want to get back to the cup final. We want to get to the third round. We want to get in these important games now. Not next year, not down the road, now.
So exciting. So exciting. And
So,
LeBlanc, guess how many first round picks they have?
3.
Not one.
Not
Not
1,
two.
not 2.
Not 3. Oh my god, it's insane.
This
and they have cap space coming off the books too with Johansson in Philadelphia.
Yeah, this.
People don't realize that too. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Trotz has put this team in one hell of a spot.
This is going to be, in this deadline is going to be exciting for them. I feel like they can add more. So,
they're
yeah.
gonna at least one of those first round picks.
Mm-hmm.
And their prospect pool is underrated too.
It is.
Like, it's like they are in an unbelievable spot right now.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to read off the lines here. First line, Philip Forsberg, Ryan O'Reilly, and Gustav Nyquist.
That's a good first line.
Yeah, it looked pretty good last year. Second line, we have Steven Stamkos, Tommy Novak, and Jonathan Marchessault.
The only concern that I do have is like down the middle.
You could put Stamkos down the middle though.
Yeah, again, that is another thing you can do, but that's a really good second line.
Mm-hmm. Third line, Mark Janikowski, Colton Sissons, and Luke Evangelista.
Yeah, you get into this point where the depth isn't bad, but it could be better.
Yeah, like I, as a third line standpoint, that's probably one of the weaker third lines in the division.
It is. It definitely is. But I think with the amount of cap space and picks they have, they can fix that.
Yes. Fourth line, Cole Smith, Michael McCarron, and Juuso Parssinen.
Sissons has been there for so long. But yeah, I don't mind that fourth line.
Mm-hmm.
Parssinen is going to be
he's
fun.
solid. Defense, we have Brady Shea and Roman Josi.
Terrific first pairing.
Jeremy Lauzon, Alexander Carrier.
It's a solid second pairing.
And then this third pairing, Spencer Stastny and Luke Schenn.
Yeah, Stastny played a lot last year and in the playoffs as well, so I definitely think that he has a decent chance to be exciting. But again, like I look at the forward core, the bottom six, and I look at the blue line. There's definitely things you can improve on, but overall, like this team's really exciting. I think with a few deadline acquisitions at the trade deadline, this team can really improve and build on that depth for sure.
Yeah. And in net, we have UC Saros, recently extended, and Scott Wedgwood.
It's a good goalie tandem.
Good goalie
Wedgwood
tandem.
had a good year last year in Dallas.
Yeah. There's a lot of hype around this team, and I'm be honest, I think they're either going to be a great team or they're going to crash and burn.
Yes. It's one of the two things that's going to happen.
There's still some work to do on the bottom six. I think they're a playoff team. I don't think they're in a divisional spot, though. I have the Nashville Predators 4th in the Central in a wild card spot, 12th in the NHL.
I have them 3rd in the Central.
Okay, so
I can see them 4th though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just don't know. Like you don't have a lot of new guys, but you have 2 major new guys along this roster. Is this team going to mesh well with them? It's kind of one of the questions I have.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Nashville. They are all in, and we seem very high on them as it is. They are going all in. Next up, let's move on to the St. Louis Blues. I don't think I'm forgetting any team here.
No, you're not.
Okay, yeah, because we're already at St. Louis. The Blues, they finished, I think it was 4th or 5th in the Central Division last year. They were young. They were not young. They were like a team that honestly has a lot of aging veterans, a few young guys in there, but they got rid of Kevin Hayes, Sammy Blais, Cal Rosen, Jacob Vrana, and Marco Scandella. The guys they brought in, Radek Faksa, Matthew Joseph, Alex Texier, Pierre-Olivier Joseph, and who else, LeBlanc? Who else did they bring in?
Dylan Holloway.
And?
Philip Broberg.
Yep. Offer sheets. Guys from Edmonton who wanted a better opportunity somewhere else, I guess. But yeah, LeBlanc, What are your thoughts on St. Louis? We talked about them a lot in the second half.
They kind of are like with Minnesota, kind of like Minnesota with me. I find them in Minnesota very interchangeable. There's a lot of new acquisitions in St. Louis, and let's just read off the lines and we'll go from there.
Yeah, read them damn lines.
First line: Jake Neighbors, Robert Thomas, Jordan Kyrou.
That's a good first line. Young.
Neighbors had a decent year last year. I think he can build off it.
He scored a lot.
Mm-hmm. Line 2: Brendan Saad, Pavel Buchnevich, and Braden Shen.
You got your captain on there. It's not a bad second line either.
Yeah. This third line I call the new line. It's that new. Dylan Holloway, Radek Faksa, Matthew Joseph.
Yep, that's a new third line there. We expected, those guys to be in those spots. I like Holloway. I like the ad there, but it's a new line. We'll see how it does.
Fourth line: Alex Texier, Zach Dean, and Alexei Torpachenko.
It's one hell of a fourth line. Zach Dean will be interesting to see. He's one of their top prospects.
Mm-hmm. So I feel like now. Sorry, I spilled something. My bad. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yes, so I think after reading these lines, I may have rated the Blues a little lower than I expected, but we're gonna stick with the rating we have. Defense, I want to recommend on defense though that Krug is out long term.
Yep,
he will not be playing this season. First pairing: Scott Perunovich and Colton Parayko.
Yeah, Perunovich never got a fair shot. He's gonna get some time here though with Krug's injury for sure.
Perunovich coming up on 25 years old. He is his make or break for him.
It is. It really is.
Right. Pairing 2, we got new guy Philip Broberg and the old guy Justin Falk.
Yeah, I like Broberg. Broberg ad really helps for sure. I feel like with that offer sheet, they kind of knew that Krug might be out for a little bit.
Yeah. And I feel Broberg never really got a fair shot in Edmonton until they really needed him.
Yeah, to be honest. So I like that.
Yeah. And then this third pairing, I'm not a huge fan of Nick Leddy and Ryan Suter.
Oh, that's I forgot Ryan Suter.
Yeah.
That's gonna be not a fan.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either. And in goal, I think they're pretty solid with Jordan Binnington and Joel Hofer.
It's a good tandem. I think Hofer had a good rookie year last year. Binnington, I think, is a little overhated at this point. Had a good year last year. If you can build off of that, that's great. Future starting goalie for Team Canada, by the way.
Yeah. He's good. I like Binnington. I think he's a good goalie.
But overall, this team, I'm honestly not that high on them. I think they're going to finish 7th in the Central. I'm not.
There's too many question marks for me. The forward core, there's a bunch of new guys. There's so many question marks. The defense, I'm going to be very frank here. The defense is kind of atrocious.
It kind of is.
And, Binnington's going to steal some games for them, but I don't see them getting any... I don't see them being competitive. I see them being competitive, but I don't see them in the playoff race. I have them 7th in the division, 24th in the NHL, right behind Minnesota. I think them and Minnesota are pretty interchangeable.
Yeah, to be honest. So, St. Louis, they're one of the teams I don't really know what to expect from them.
Mm-hmm.
So, we shall see. Let's move on to the Utah Hockey Club. Again, you guys heard me say earlier, I'm like, did I get all the teams? Yeah, this is because I forgot Arizona existed. It doesn't exist anymore. The Utah Hockey Club made some exciting moves this past year. They obviously, first off, they traded themselves to Utah from Arizona for future considerations. They also drafted TJ Ginla. They let go of JJ Moser, Josh Brown, Travis Dermott, and Travis Boyd. The guys they brought in, Mikhail Sergachev, John Marino, Ian Cole, Kevin Stenlund, and Kevin Connaughton. So a lot of revamp to that blue line for sure. But LeBlanc, how are we feeling about the Utah Hockey Club here?
I'm pretty excited and pretty high on them coming into the year. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, they're fun. they look like a fun team, and as a former Coyotes fan, now Utah Hockey Club fan, this team is pretty damn exciting. I must say.
Yes, it is.
All right, read that damn lines.
All right. Clayton Keller, Barrett Hayden, Nick Schmaltz.
Yeah, I'm just going to say immediately, I know I just said I was high on them, but one of the concerns that I have is their depth down the middle. They really lack like a number one center.
Yeah, I really do think that Logan Cooley will be at that one spot this upcoming year. I don't see Hayden as the number one.
Probably. He's probably lost that position.
Second,
sure, but, yeah.
Second line, Lawson Krause, Logan Cooley, Dylan Gunther.
Krause isn't that young anymore, but it's still a young line.
Krause is
Gunther,
huge.
again, we said it earlier, we're expecting a lot from him. It's exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting second line.
Third line, Mateus Michelli, Nick Bukestad, and Josh Doan. I don't know if Doan's still a rookie, though.
Doan is, I think, technically a rookie. He's played, I think he's played games to still be considered a rookie, but I like Doan.
Doan's, I like Doan, too. I think Doan can probably get pushed up in this lineup, not gonna lie to you, if he performs well.
Nepotism.
This fourth line, Kevin Stenlund, Jack McBain, Alex Kerfoot.
That's interesting third line, or interesting fourth line.
Pretty decent fourth line.
Yeah, it's not bad, but
and
I don't know.
This is where now the defense is where I think they really, really, really improved.
But I do have questions.
Okay.
Will these guys mesh?
Mm-hmm. We got Mikhail Sergachev and Sean Durzi, who they gave a lot of money to Durzi.
Yeah, they did give a lot of money to Durzi, but he was looked at before Sergachev came in as like the number one defenseman. Yes. So I kind of understand that in a way. Actually, I forget what his contract was. How much did he get paid?
Now I forget. Now that you mentioned it.
Hang on, let me look it up. Keep going.
We have in the second pairing Juuso Valimaki and John Marino.
I like that second pairing. Marino, good top four defenseman. Valimaki, I thought looked all right last year with the team for sure. They paid Durzi $6 million for the next 4 years.
Yeah, I thought it was 5 or 6. Yeah,
it's not that bad.
And then for third pairing, Ian Cole, Michael Kesselring.
I like Cole. Kesselring is a legend, by the way. But yeah, he's a legend amongst me and LeBlanc because he's like a meme. But good third pairing.
And in net we have Connor Ingram and Carl Vejmelka.
That's a good tandem. I like Ingram. Ingram had a good year last year. Vejmelka, he's a solid backup goalie, but it's going to be an interesting year for this team. LeBlanc, I have them 5th.
I am not going to lie to you. I am pretty high on Utah. I like what they're doing. I think they're only going to get better as the year goes by. I have them 5th as well, but I have them in a playoff spot.
Ooh. I like that. I like that sneaky pick there. I have them just barely missing. But again, I haven't seen either of my teams make the playoffs in a while. LeBlanc, I know LeBlanc is going to laugh at me, but it's been 4 years. I'm hoping that they will find one of them, and hopefully maybe it's probably going to be Utah will break in.
I want to say last time the Sens made the playoffs, I was not legal to drink alcohol in Ontario.
Yeah, he's been legal to drink alcohol for how long, LeBlanc?
Oh, it's been 6 years.
Yeah, that shows. And that's why LeBlanc drinks a lot of alcohol. Anyways, yeah, Utah, fun and exciting. We're going to see what's really going to come of them. And the final team in this division, the final team of these previews is the Winnipeg Jets. Shout out to our friend Riley, who has been waiting for this forever.
Yeah, bro.
I'm sure
we purposely did this last, so you have to wait.
Yes. Winnipeg's last in the overall alphabet, so they're last in this preview. But LeBlanc, what are your thoughts on the Jets? I don't know.
I find the Jets are being slept on.
A tad bit.
Like Nashville comes involved their sexy ads, Marcia So, Shea, Stan goes. Everyone just forgets the Jets exist.
Yep, they forget the Jets were like fourth in the league last year, weren't they? They were second in that division.
Mm-hmm.
They were close to Dallas too. They weren't
Yeah.
that far off.
However,
All right,
I do feel there will be a little regression, but not a lot. So let's go through these lines.
Not a no playoffs regression, but a
Yeah.
little bit.
So we got Connor, Scheifele, Velarde.
Good first line.
Yeah, I think it's a really good first line. Connor's going to score a lot of goals. Scheifele's a good centerman. So
If he can stay healthy, hopefully.
yes. Second line, Ehlers, Nemestikov, Perfetti. Now the futures of Ehlers is very in question right now. Perfetti is not signed yet, but I assume he will be signed by the home opener.
We already discussed that earlier. He will be hopefully signed. Ehlers, unknown. They want to keep him around, though, from what I heard. So hopefully it'll stay that way. But, yeah, not a bad top six.
Their bottom six, I think, is really strong. We got Nito Niederreiter, Adam Lowry, and Mason Appleton.
I'll give them credit. They have a lot of depth. They're deep for a team that is, overlooked, honestly.
Yeah.
Or underlooked, not
underlooked. Then we got Morgan Barron, Rasmus Kupari, and Alex Iafallo.
It's a good fourth line,
too. It's a very good fourth line.
Morgan Barron I like a lot.
I like Barron. I think Iafallo can maybe get up in the lineup this year.
I agree.
Yeah. Defense, I think they got a really strong defense core. They lost a couple pieces on defense, like Brendan Dillon.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not terrifically high on the blue line, though.
And then they lost Heinola to injury. So, Morrissey DeMello, I think that's one of the best pairings in the league.
That's a good first pairing.
Yeah. DeMello, very, very underrated defensive defenseman.
He is underrated. I like Morrissey a lot as well. Or as Carter calls him, Josh Norrissey.
We have Dylan Sandberg, Neil Pionk. Solid second pair.
It's a good second pairing. I think that I'm not terribly high on Pionk though.
I'm high on Sandberg though, so like they counteract each other. So
yeah, I like Sandberg.
And then they brought in Colin Miller, and then we have Logan Stanley. I don't love that.
Yeah, with Heinola being hurt, that probably means Stanley slides in at that 6.
Yeah, so I'm not terribly high on that last pairing, but it's still a solid decor.
It is. It's still pretty solid.
And then you look at the goaltending. You got the reigning Vezina Trophy winner Connor Hellebuck and Capo Kakinen.
Or Eric Comrie. We're not 100% sure who it's going to be. I think Hellebuck. I love Hellebuck, actually.
I think it'll be.
Up the question.
I think it'll be Kakinen though.
Probably. We'll see. But yeah, Winnipeg. I have 4th in a wild card spot, but they're like a very high seeded wild card. Like they're like 11th in the league.
I have the Jets going to the big board, 3rd in the Central, 10th in the league.
Yeah, around where I have them, honestly. I just have Nashville above them.
So me and you, you're high, you're up on Nashville, I'm down. I'm up on Winnipeg, you're down. So it's
that's pretty much what it is.
We kind of have similar. I always find with me and Nordic, we always have similar standings.
We don't like to disagree with each other except for like maybe a few,
and they're like off by like 1. So like I find that we really do. I don't think we think the same, but like we kind of do think the same. We're very rational in our picks, I find as well.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well that does it for the Central Division.
But previews are done. But to end it, I have a game.
Oh God, here we go. All right. Well, anyways, I want to just ask our questions for.
Oh yes, let's just do that.
Division winner.
Dallas.
I got Dallas too. Division loser.
Chicago.
Yep. Dark horse.
My dark horse is going to be St. Louis.
Mine is Minnesota.
Okay.
Disappointing team.
Disappointing team. Minnesota.
Nashville.
Ooh, yep.
I could see it going that way.
Yeah.
I don't think it will, but I can see.
I
it
could
going
see
that
it too. So
way. What's another one? Team you want to play against?
I want to play Riley again. So the Jets.
Team you don't want to play against?
Riley, because it's gonna get really toxic. So the Jets.
I would want to play against Chicago. Or actually, no, I want to play against Utah because that's my other favorite team. Team I don't want to play against is Dallas. We always struggle against Dallas.
It's funny. Dallas has not beat us in Ottawa in I think it's been 6 or 7 years now.
Ooh, wow. It's impressive. MVP.
In this division, honestly, I'm going to say Hellebuck.
Not going to lie to you. I'm going to say McKinnon.
McKinnon,
I want
yeah.
to give an honorable mention to Ryan Suter because he gets paid by 3 different teams in the NHL.
Bro's getting the bag.
Contract MVP. You want to make a lot of money. You don't have to be like a Nathan McKinnon or a Leon Draisaitl. Just be like a Ryan Suter and just get bought out by 2 teams and then sign with another.
All right.
LVP.
LVP. Matthew Dumba.
I gotta go with Logan Stanley.
Okay.
All right, let's do this damn game.
Okay, so here's the game. Are you good at stats?
Sometimes.
Right. Since 2020, so since the 2019-2020 season, can you name me the top 10 players in goals?
In the Central Division?
No, in the entire league.
Okay.
And there's 11 answers because there's 2 people that are tied.
McDavid
is number 4.
Matthews.
Number 1.
Kucherov
is number... Where is he?
He's not on the list.
He's on the list.
Wow. I guess because he's been hurt the first.
Yeah, no, he's not on. He's not here.
McKinnon
is number 7.
Okay, so I got number 1, number 4, number 7.
Yep.
Why am I blanking? Draisaitl.
Number 2.
Okay, so it's 4. How about Rantanen?
Rantanen is number 6.
Woo! Look at that. Let a little cheer there. Panarin?
Panarin, no.
Okay. It's goals, right?
Yes, goals.
Is Ovechkin there?
Ovechkin's number 5.
Okay. I was a little bit hesitant, but
you're halfway there.
It's half the list. Stamkos?
Stamkos is number 13, so no.
Kane?
No.
I'm trying to think, who's a random player who scored.
Would you like the divisions of the remaining teams? Remaining players?
I need 5 more?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Okay, so number 3, Atlantic. Number 8, Central. Number 9, Atlantic. Number 10, Metro. Number 11, Metro.
How am I forgetting him? Pasternak.
Yes.
Is Crosby on that list?
No.
Okay. I feel like there's gonna be a surprise on there.
So 8 Central, 9 Atlantic, 10 and 11 are both Metro.
I can't cheat either, can I?
No.
Forsberg?
No.
Marchessault.
No. Would you like nationalities?
I won't know nationalities.
Oh.
Just give me a second. Robertson, is he there?
No, he's not.
Okay. What about Aho?
Aho is number 10.
Ooh, okay. Matthew Tkachuk?
No.
Okay. I'm just like looking at like my team pennants.
You
Kaprizov?
No, he's close though. He's number 15.
Okay.
We got
Jack Hughes.
no. All right, missing 8, 9, and 11. So you're missing Central, Atlantic, Metro.
Zibanejad?
No, Savannah Jet is number 16.
Hmm. No, it wouldn't be him. Point?
Yep, points number 9.
Okay, so I need number 8 and number 11.
Yeah, so Central and Metro.
Kyle Connor.
Yep, Kyle Connor is number 8.
All right, and then a Metro.
Yeah, he's number 11. He's tied with Aho.
It's a Metro guy.
You can do his guess who style. You can ask me questions about the player and whether it's go faster.
At Barzal?
No.
Is it anyone on Philly?
No.
Okay, I was making sure. I feel like you would do that to me.
They made the playoffs last year.
Oh my God, Chris Kreider.
Yeah, it's Chris Kreider.
I should have known that because he randomly had like a 40-goal season the one year.
Yeah. So yeah, no, you did it.
Kind of nailed that. You want to read off the top 10, 11?
Top 10: Matthews 257, Draisaitl 222, Pasternak 216, McDavid 207, Ovechkin 195, Rantanen 182, McKinnon 180, Connor 167, Point 173. Sorry, Connor was 176. My bad. Point 173, Aho 171, Kreider 171.
All right. Well, that's a good list to end off this Northern Block episode. So we are done with our division previews. We posted our Atlantic, our Metro, our Pacific, and now our Central when you're listening to this. So if you haven't listened to the other ones, go listen to them. They were fun. They were all over an hour long. The Atlantic was like nearly 2 hours.
Yeah.
So it was a fun, like, 4 hour, I guess 5 hours, of just season previews. But yeah, I think next episode, we're either going to do our September tier lists or we're going to do standings predictions, like our official standings predictions. We've kind of touched base with them, but we still have a few other prediction stuff we want to do and some other things we want to get out there as well. So we may be doing those next episode. But anyways, that does it for the Nord and Block podcast, episode number 21. Thank you guys for watching and listening. If you enjoy, make sure to watch the YouTube end of things and subscribe. If you're listening, give us a good review. Tell your friends. Again, review us down below. Follow us on Spotify. If you want to follow the Nord Block Pod on Instagram, follow at Nord Block Pod. We're going to get a lot of Instagram content out as well. Again, we will have a new intro as well. Hopefully next episode if I can cook that up this coming week. But anyways, I'm Nord, that's Block. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. Adios.
Ciao.